G'day all. Today we'll be taking a look at Just Flight's Beechcraft Duchess 76 for X-Plane. We're going to start it from a cold and dark state and take it for a short trip from Shoreham to Gatwick to get a kind of first impressions feel for it. Being new to the aircraft, I'll be bumbling my way along a little bit, so apologies if things are not done to perfection or exactly by the checklists, but I will give it a go. So this is what it looks like from the outside. It's not too bad a model, it's modelled well. Textures, whilst not fantastic, are not bad either. All in all, above average. Not quite Carinata level, but not bad. The interior modelling is pretty good. It's not absolutely superb, but it's not bad. It's certainly above average. With the texturing, they've gone for a weathered look, as you can see with the console and the dash. Overall, it's also fairly good. Not superb, once again, but above average, quite passable, and nothing to sneeze at. Jump into the back seats and have a bit of a look around in here. The seat textures are quite nice, much better than Just Flight's Piper Arrows, which, to be honest, is pretty crap. There's a handy menu located to the side. These ones here, open the doors. The next one removes window reflections. This one removes reflections from dials. You have a light. Autopilot access, much easier than going all the way over there. Then display inches or millibars in the altimeter. Pop up for the standard GPS if you use it. The state of your fuel, oil, spark plugs, vapor lock condition, etc. Battery condition too. Payload manager, fuel, weight and balance. Audio settings, automatically start or stop the plane. An interactive checklist. A handy dandy flight computer with all sorts of useful information. Access to X-Plane's logbook. Ground for pushback. And removes the chocks, or static elements. As you can see, we no longer have any chocks under the wheels. Alrighty, let's see what we can do about starting this thing, shall we? Let's strobe first, then the battery. Left fuel pump. Drop some mixture full forward. Crack the throttle. Magnetos to both on the left. Prime it. And start. Just left fuel pump off. Now we'll start on the right. Pump on. Magnetos. Yep, wrong button. Magnetos. Prime. Start. Alright, both engines going. Drop our RPMs back to about 1,000. A bit more. Yep. Now to enter our flight plan in our Reality XP GTN750, which thankfully this plane is compatible with. We'll be flying to the Midhurst VOR, and from there on to Gatwick. All in all, it should be a short 20-minute hop or so. Alright, all set up. What is that noise? Fuel pump on. That's better. Put the cowls open and the carb heat on. Alright, all done. How's our oil? Oil pressure's good, oil pressure's fine, but the oil temp is a little low, especially on that right engine. Might need to run it a little longer. Or just close up those cowl flaps, which is probably what I'll do. Yeah, that'll work. Flick some of these bottom switches on. Autopilot, lights and heaters and stuff like that. Anything else? Oh yeah, alternators. That'll make a difference. You can see. Much better. Anything else? Looks to be about done. How's our temp? Yep, looking good. Alright, let's taxi. Oh, as an aside, something I should point out, all of the circuit breakers are modelled in this plane. So if you want to simulate system failures, you can do that by popping them out. Anyway, back to taxiing. In the mixture a bit for taxi. Don't want to foul those plugs. That is something that is simulated in this version of the aircraft. You will of course foul your plugs if you run the plane on low RPMs with a high mixture. So I lean that back to about half. It really doesn't take much to pick up speed taxiing with this thing. I'm pretty much running on idle and it's really picking up some speed. I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, as in like that's how it's supposed to go. But yeah, it's something to keep an eye on anyway, something to be mindful of. Alright, let's stop here at the base of this runway and do our run-up checks. And mixture full forward. We'll raise our RPMs to 2000. Then we're going to do a magneto check for both engines. Right. Magneto 1, fine. Magneto 2, also acceptable. Next engine. Good. We'll cut it down to idle. Keeps running. That is also a good thing. Props. Exercised. Alright, we are ready for takeoff. Trim set. Flaps set. Shouldn't actually need any for this takeoff. Mixture is full forward. Alright. Yep, all looking good. Carb heat, we must switch that off. Let's roll. Ready to rotate. Positive rate, gear up. She climbs well. Cut that prop speed back to 2600. We want a climb rate of about 80 knots, which is handling quite easily. And we're doing 80 knots and look at our VSI, 1,500 feet per minute. That's hoiking it, I think. Turn onto our course. Trim out a bit. Whoa, bit too much trim. Alright, try and balance this out. Picks up speed fairly quickly, so it seems you need a lot of nose down trim also fairly quickly. I mean, I could crank it more at the moment, but I don't really want to. I mean, it'll hit 150 quick and easy, but I'm not really pouring on the power at the moment, as you can see over there on the manifold pressure. Just easy does it. get to learn the feel of the plane. Actually feels quite light and nimble, very fast, light and nimble, which I wouldn't expect from a twin prop. But I suppose it's quite a small twin prop with big honking engines on it, so makes sense. The Duchess is a 4-seater aircraft with two 180 horsepower engines strapped to its sides. It's VFR and IFR capable and is a good platform for learning how to fly a twin prop. It's a good beginner plane and a good step up from like your Piper Arrow and stuff. It has a cruise speed of 155 knots, a range of about 780 nautical miles, and a service ceiling of 20,000 feet. Not that you're ever going to push it that high, but with that sort of range and speed and service ceiling, it can also make a fairly decent cross-country tourer. If you're wondering about the scenery that I'm flying over right now, it is Orbx's True Earth. I believe this is southern England. It should be southern England. I've got the whole of England, but I believe we're in the south right now. As you can see, it's bloody brilliant, and for low and slow VFR flying, to me there is nothing better in X-Plane at the moment than this. Alright, let's give the autopilot a go. Switched on, just put us into attitude hold, and we are now in navigation, so it's following the GPS course. Attitude hold keeps whatever pitch attitude you had when you press the button, so that's kept me climbing at this rate, which you can see right here. And of course we put it onto altitude hold, and it will level us out at whatever altitude it was when you clicked altitude hold, just 1,500 feet, which is where we want to be. Beautiful scenery, and the plane is acting as one would expect it to act, so that's good, no surprises. Alright, so let's speed things along a little bit and chop up the flight and have a bit of a look at an external view. Plane looks quite wonderful. I do like it. Not a bad model. Like I said, not great, but it's pretty good. You can't say it's crap. This Duchess is a conversion from the existing prepared/FSX aircraft and is done by Standard Design. This is the same developer who did Just Flight's Piper Arrow conversions and other notable X-Plane aircraft such as the Carinado conversions. Basically, Standard is a well-known designer, and he's well-known for doing excellent X-Plane conversions, and it doesn't look like the Duchess is any exception to this. You know, bang on, good job. Okay, so we've reached our VOR. Now we're going to make a turn towards Gatwick. It's quite smooth and stable in its turns, which is obviously a good thing, especially from a plane that's recognised as being a learner platform. And I don't mean learner platform in a negative way either. I mean, you know, something that's simple, effective, and operates predictably. You know, it doesn't throw you surprises. Something that's good and reliable and gets the job done. Alright, switch ourselves back into autopilot mode, and we'll probably speed things along a little bit with an outside view and time skip. Enjoy the view for a little while. When we switch back inside, it will be on final, running into Gatwick. Okay, here we are on final approach to Gatwick's runway 08 right. Our flaps are fully extended, our landing gear is down. We want to have an approach speed of around, I think it's 75 knots. As you can see, I'm going a little bit under that, but I'm just trying to keep things slow because, well, this is my first real time landing this plane, and I don't want to stuff it up. I want to have a little bit of time to react. It could come back and bite me in the ass, of course, going too slow. I might lose some speed and stall. Hopefully that won't happen, but we'll see. lined up fairly well. I'm happy with the height and the glide slope. I think it's all looking good. The lights tell me I'm a little high, but see, drop some speed and lower it a bit. Got plenty of runway to play with anyway. I don't have to whack it down straight at the beginning. I'm going to speed back a little bit. Target. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Righty, center line. Might be a little slow. We'll be right. Cut the engines. Oh, engines cut a little bit early. That was a harder landing than I would have liked, because I came in a little bit too slow and cut those engines a little bit too early. But not too bad. I'm putting them a little plug in. It's an acceptable landing. Put the flaps up. We'll find a place to park. I have no idea where general aviation parks at Gatwick, but I shall find it, or if not, I shall make my own place. And here it is. This is where I'm going to park. Could not find where to go, so this is where we are. Look, overall, this was a pretty enjoyable plane to fly. It's light and nimble. It's easy to fly. It handles well. It's predictable. It's everything you want in a basic GA plane. It's not overly complex, so if after something with tons and tons of system stuff, this isn't the plane for you. That being said, it's a simple plane in real life, and they've modeled it well. It's not like unrealistic, but it is a simple plane. So if you're looking to get into twin props for the first time, you've never really flown one, you're not looking for anything too complicated, this is a great place to start. If I had to give this plane a score out of 10, I would give it a solid 7. Not quite an 8, but a solid 7. It's well worth the money and well worth mucking around in if GA planes are your thing. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you did, please smash like. Feel free to subscribe. Comment if you have any questions or any remarks. And thank you for watching.